Hey, how's everybody doing? Tyler Day here, back for another episode of Traffic Talk. So, we got a handful of different topics to go through today. So, first thing that I want to talk about is a new Facebook scaling strategy that we've been trying out this week. This is something that one of my media buyers has been doing, and shout out to the media buyer on my team who came up with this. You know who you are if you're watching this. Let's see. So before I get into it, make sure that you go ahead and give a like and give a subscribe on the video. Make sure that you put any comments or questions that you have in the chat as we go along, and I'll make sure to check that periodically as we go. So let's get into it. So this Facebook ad scaling strategy is expanded upon what we covered last time with the Cbo scaling campaign, where if you have a Cbo scaling campaign, and let's say that you have 5 different images or videos that are sort of similar in performance, what you should do is put them in a dynamic ad. And dynamic ads, if you've used them before, basically you just load up these different ad variants into one ad, and Facebook will sort of rotate them. So if you do one ad in each ad set and make it a dynamic ad with your top 5 ads, and kind of rotate them all, then what you do is you use the same Cbo campaign structure that we've covered in the past, where you have one ad in each ad set. You've got 5 duplicates of the ad set within the campaign, and then like a $500 to $2,000 budget on the campaign level. And then what you would do there is you would duplicate that 5 or 10 times in an ad account. And if you want to scale more, you can share your pixel across different ad accounts and scale more horizontally. So basically, the strategy is the same one that I covered in the last video. If you're new to this channel, make sure that you go back and rewatch the previous Traffic Talk videos. So the strategy is basically the same, but instead of doing a normal ad with 5 duplicates on the ad set level, you would do a dynamic ad with your 5 top ads within the dynamic ad rotating. So this is something that one of my media buyers that runs the highest volume on our team has been doing lately. So maybe give it a try out and see how it does for you. Okay. So let's see. The next topic that I'd like to talk about, I saw that in the Facebook group, some people were having issues with fan page bans on Facebook. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about that here. So it seems that Facebook has been cracking down a bit on banning people's fan pages. And this has been sort of a problem because when you get a fan page banned, it shuts down all of your ads. So it's not that easy to deal with this problem. And this is something that we've been dealing with on our team too. And I'm not sure if we have like a perfect solution for this yet, but I'll share with you sort of what we've discovered so far and how we're kind of dealing with this right now internally. So once one of your fan pages gets banned, any other fan page that you try to create after that is also going to get banned. So as soon as you have a fan page that gets restricted, you should appeal it before you try to make any more fan pages. And you know, the way that you should think about this is that if you don't have any fan pages banned, then what you should do is be proactive about this and set up as many fan pages as possible before you get one banned. Because once you get one banned, if you're not able to recover it, it could be really, really challenging to create more fan pages on that same profile that you're running ads from. So If you don't have any fan page bans, what you should do is maybe go ahead and do one new fan page per day and start to warm up that fan page with some a fan page post every day and just get some activity going on the fan page. Um, you don't want to create more than one fan page in a day, or they could um, flag your profile for suspicious activity. And my apologies if you hear any like guitar in the background. It sounds like my neighbor is maybe practicing his electric guitar or something like that. So, um, anyways, let's keep on moving forward here. So, what we found is that when a fan page does get restricted, that they come back easier than as if an ad account was restricted. So when a fan page does get restricted, we have been able to get them back by appealing, but it's kind of a hassle if you're running things and your fan page goes down, all your ads stop, and if you don't have backup fan pages, the new fan pages that you create could get shut down if the first one isn't appealed and brought back into good standing. So what you need to do is, yeah, you need to create a lot of backup fan pages before anything gets banned. And if you're in a position where your fan page did get restricted and you didn't have any backups, you didn't create additional fan pages before the one got restricted, then you may have to move over to a new user profile and start building new fan pages there that you could share over to a business manager to use for your ad campaigns. So we're going to talk more about this, and I'll give you guys an idea of sort of how you can set up a little bit more of a robust network around your Facebook accounts and your media buying operation in general to be a little bit more resilient to things like this happening. So when it comes to running Facebook ads, it's really important that you have backup profiles to run your ads on, because it can happen that something happens with a Facebook profile where the user account just kind of goes into bad standing, whether it be a fan page ban or your business managers get banned, or we've even seen entire profiles themselves get restricted from advertising. I know it happened with my profile, and it's happened to several other profiles that we've ran ads on before. So what you really need if you're planning on running a lot of Facebook traffic is you need sort of a network of different real user profiles that you can rent to host your business managers, to host your fan pages on, and to just use to run ads. So the place that you should start is with friends and family. So people that you know that you could get to agree to do this for maybe like $100 per month, where you essentially just access their profile and use it to run ads. But when you're doing this, you don't want to just log into somebody else's Facebook profile from your own computer. So what you should do instead is use the Team Viewer application. And how this would work is you would actually ship a computer to the person's house that you plan on using their profile, and you would install the Team Viewer application on the computer, and you would change the computer settings to never go to sleep. So you would set this up like in their closet or in their basement, or just somewhere out of the way. Um, maybe if it's far away from the Wi-Fi router, you could do like an additional Wi-Fi booster, like USB thing with the laptop or the desktop to make sure that the internet speed is okay. And what you'd be doing is you'd be remote accessing their profile via the TeamViewer application installed on your own computer, where you can basically remote log into the computer that's at the person's house. So if you get somebody to agree to let you use their profile and you just log in from your own house, it'll get flagged for suspicious activity since the profile would be getting used from two different locations. So this is sort of needed for a Facebook media buying operation. You need to have this robust network of user profiles and have backups for your backups because things can happen. I mean, we had an issue where one of the profiles that we were running ads for got shut down. And fortunately, we had a backup in place because it was one of our highest volume campaigns I was running from that. So, we were able to keep running without an interruption. So, um, let's see. Let me go ahead and check the chat here. So, this is some pretty advanced stuff here. So, somebody asked, can you go deeper into the page restrictions? Do you make new pages or get age profiles? Do you host them on a personal profile or inside a BM? So, what the best practice should be for fan pages before you get a fan page banned, you need to create like tons of fan pages, like one per day, maybe 5 per week. You don't really want to do more than that, or you could get flagged just for even making too many fan pages. If you have a fan page that is restricted, then you might need to move over to a new profile if you're not able to get the fan page unrestricted by appealing it. So once you get a fan page restricted, any new fan pages that you try to create and run ads from are also just going to get restricted unless you get back in good standing. So if you have anything restricted, you're not really going to be able to create more fan pages from that profile. So the answer is to have backup profiles that you can create fan pages from. Um, and also, you don't necessarily need to set up the whole like remote team viewer thing if it's only a fan page issue. So if the issue is only with a fan page, then you could just create a fan page like on a friend or family account, or have them create it and then have them add you as an admin on it, and that could be a solution too. So essentially, like if you're restricted from making new fan pages on your own profile, then you're going to have to make those new fan pages from a new profile. So whether you want to go the lengths of setting up like a remote team viewer setup to be able to fully remote access their profile. If it's only a fan page issue, you may not have to go that route. Like you could just create it on, a friend, family, spouse's account, get yourself added as an admin, and then, you know, use that to advertise from. Um, so let's see, let me get back to my notes here. So this team viewer network is really needed though if you plan on running a robust media buying operation. So really what you need to run a big media buying operation is you need a lot of different profiles and business managers to run ads from. So it can take a lot of work to do this. So it's best to sort of actively work on this and make sure that you're never in a position where you don't have any backup profiles to run on. You always want to have backups and backups for your backups so that you never get stuck. And yeah. So if you have any more questions about the fan page stuff, drop them in the chat. So yeah, I mean, this is something that we're dealing with too, and we're still trying to figure out the right solutions for this. So sorry if everything's not crystal clear, but that's my understanding of it so far and how to deal with it. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about some industry trends going on. So one thing that I heard about is there's increased regulation coming, like in the Medicare industry. So right now it's the off season for Medicare. So Medicare is kind of seasonal. It mainly runs during the open enrollment period, which is from October through December. Um, and right now is the off season for Medicare. So, there's still some budget, but the caps are a little bit smaller during the Medicare off season. And then those caps open up. What I've heard though is that the CMS, which is a government agency for Medicare, the Center for Medicare Services, is now going to require ads to be submitted for review and to get like pre-approved on ads to run Medicare ads. So I'm actually not really sure like how this is going to play out in our industry, like from an affiliate side. I think this is more of a responsibility of a lead buyer for Medicare to basically like submit the material needed to get approved for this type of thing. But whenever you see something like this, like it's generally not a good sign. So what this means is that buyers are going to have more strict guidelines moving forward as far as what they can and can't say in Medicare ads. And it also increases risk for the affiliate in this vertical. So, affiliates are always just going to run whatever they want, right? Because affiliates are kind of incentivized to be on the more aggressive side because they need to get their costs cheaper. Of course, if you're a good affiliate, then you are running compliantly and maintaining a good relationship with the buyer or the advertiser that you're running ads for. But in a lot of cases, it's just like affiliates treat everything like it's the Wild West. So what this means is that affiliates are going to run what they want, and advertisers are probably going to get sued for violating like the CMS regulations. And what that means is that they're going to wrap affiliates into the lawsuit. So um, for new Medicare buyers that we've been talking to, we've had to sign disclosures that we have to legally agree, like through a contract, before we even start working with them, that if we were to get sued for violating any of these new regulations, that they would basically wrap us into the lawsuit. So if you want to learn more about this, check out the Medicare Communications and Marketing Guidelines. You can search that on Google, the MCMG. And if you're really heavy in the Medicare vertical, maybe start putting more focus on other verticals. So, we've ran a lot of Medicare traffic, and right now we're more looking to work on other verticals. So, we understand open enrollment period is coming up, and Medicare is going to be big coming this fall. But yeah, I'm a little bit concerned. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what's actually the implications of this are going to be on the affiliate side. So some of the buyers that we're talking to for Medicare are requiring like our CMS license number to even get approved to run Medicare ads with certain buyers. So um, yeah, it's still something that I'm kind of working on figuring out and thinking about like what the real implications are for our business. But yeah, I think things are definitely getting more strict in this Medicare vertical. So what that means is that there becomes more risk for affiliates. So we've seen this in other verticals, like education is a vertical where generally things are very, very strict. And, we run a lot of education ads, like for people to enroll in college classes. And there's really, really strict guidelines that you have to follow. And, we have to get all of our ads pre-approved, and they get analyzed by legal teams of universities. This to me seems like something kind of similar, where the Medicare is probably moving in a direction where all these ads need to get pre-approved, but by a government agency, which could take months to get approved. So yeah, I mean, it's not a good sign. If you're very heavy in Medicare, I would probably think about diversifying into other verticals. So the regulations in the US for this affiliate stuff are more like industry specific. So if one vertical or one area of lead gen like Medicare gets like heavily regulated, we can always just focus on other areas that aren't as strict, but something to think about. Okay. So let's see. Somebody had asked a question in the Facebook group about testing landing pages on Facebook. So we're going to kind of pivot to the next point here of strategies for testing landers on Facebook. So when it comes to testing landers on Facebook, the most important thing is that you don't rotate variants within one URL. So a common practice if you're like split testing landing pages is to just like rotate different landing page variations under one link ending and optimize everything just on one link. But with Facebook, there's a risk that they're going to flag that for circumventing policy. So Facebook algorithm will analyze your site, and if they see that there's different variations of a page running on the site, they're going to think that they're just going to immediately assume that you're doing something sketchy. So they're going to assume that maybe you're cloaking. So cloaking is when people will, submit one page to Facebook and then get it approved, but then, run a completely different, like rotate in different versions of the page that might be more aggressive. So it's really difficult for Facebook to tell the difference between something like that and just regular like landing page optimization. So the solution for this is to put each lander into its own test ad set or its own dedicated test campaign with the top ad and the top ad copy singled out, and just split test different landers in separate test ad sets or separate test campaigns under different link endings. So that's the most important thing. Some other tips when it comes to testing landers is to realize that the lander click-through rate can really suck at first if it's a brand new pixel. So when a pixel is brand new, like if it's your first 1 or 2 days running a campaign and the pixel has no idea like who to target, the landing page conversion rate can be really bad. But often when you start to get conversions, after day 3 or so, the landing page CTR starts being a little bit more fair. So this is only really something that you need to think about if this is like your first couple days running on a new pixel. And once Facebook has like conversion data, then the landing page CTR should be a little bit more true. So some other tips when it comes to testing landers, focus heavily on testing the first page click-through rate and the last page call to action page of the lander. So if you're doing a survey funnel, the most important thing that you can do is just focus on getting the most people to click through on the first page. And then on the page where you have a call to action, like on the last page of a survey funnel, focus heavily on the ad copy and the call to action on that page. So those are going to be the biggest needle movers for testing a lander. Another thing when it comes to landing pages is that some days are just bad on Facebook and your click-through rates can be way off due to like the pixel or Facebook algorithm just being off that day. So you don't want to throw away a lander just on one day's worth of data. Always try to look at it on more of like a several day time frame or week, and don't kill anything just based on one day of data. Unless everything is like fine with Facebook. I mean, you can tell when Facebook stats are kind of off, and on days like that, you don't really want to be making decisions, especially if it's only one day of data. One more tip when it comes to landers on Facebook is you don't want to put any disclaimers on the footer of your lander that have the word like Facebook or FB. So some affiliates will like put this disclaimer at the bottom of their landing page. It says like, disclaimer, this page is not associated with Facebook, or, basically you don't want to put the word Facebook on your lander at all. So we've seen issues with our team where some of our media buyers were doing this and they had all of those ads disapproved, because of the issue on the lander of the lander mentioning the word Facebook. So you never really need to like put that disclaimer on your page about the page not being associated with Facebook. I would just leave that disclaimer out. Okay. So let's see. So we have some questions here in the chat. Have you tried Google Ads with pay-per-call? If so, any good results, good or bad? So personally, we're more focused on Facebook right now. We are working on getting Google fired up again with YouTube ads to try to scale some of the verticals that we're running. But right now, we're mainly just running Facebook traffic. However, I do know people that run pay-per-call with YouTube, so I know that it definitely works. So, we've had affiliates of ours on the network that do like 5 or 10 grand a day with with YouTube ads going to some of our pay-per-call offers. So I know for sure that YouTube is a good traffic source. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't write it off. And we're going to be putting more focus on it ourselves, probably more in Q4 of this year. So let's see. So let's talk about sort of where I see some opportunities currently. So I was talking a little bit about the Medicare vertical. So yeah, that's getting a little bit more strict. And right now is the off season for Medicare anyway. The caps are a little bit tight. So one area that we're seeing potential right now is with Affordable Care Act health insurance. So I did a video about this. I did a tutorial. If you haven't watched that, it's the latest video before this one that I've released on the channel. Go back and watch that. We're seeing pretty good results with this ACA health insurance. I think one reason why is because you can kind of take like a political approach in your ads. So the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, is like an actual like government subsidized health insurance thing. So you can actually use political angles in your ads, which tend to do well. Another area that I'm looking at is refinance. So mortgage refinance is something that we did really well on, like after COVID when the mortgage rates dropped. And, in the past 6 months, the mortgage rates have been going up, but in the past month or so here, it looks like the mortgage rates have actually started to drop a little bit. So the mortgage rates went up so dramatically. I think they peaked like close to 6%. I can actually look up the exact numbers here, but mortgage rates, I think, have peaked. I mean, this is something that we want to pay attention to because rates dropped from close to 6% to about like 5.3% right now. And if this continues, it's going to open up an opportunity to do like savings-based mortgage refi angles. So yeah, it looks like the mortgage rates topped sort of like end of June at about 5.8%. And right now they are at 5.3% and trending down. So yeah, I mean, this is something that you definitely want to pay attention to. So the mortgage refinance industry, when it's sort of dependent on like macroeconomic conditions, like interest rates and stuff like that. But if we see this interest rate start to continue to drop, so just in the past month, it's dropped, about 50 basis points or so. So if we see that trend continuing month over month, and we see the mortgage 30-year interest rate drop into the 4% range. If things continue like this, it could happen. It could get into that 4% range just in the next month here. There could be a huge opportunity with mortgage refinance. So we've still been running some refinance, but just with a different angle. So we've got an angle offer for mortgage refi that is more of a cash out angle, where we have an angle about homeowners cashing out up to 185K. So that's just sort of a different angle on the refi. Like somebody might refinance to get a lower rate, but they might also just want to pull cash out of the equity of their home. So we've been doing refi with that angle, but I think the rate savings angle is very, very good when it's you know, when it's working. So I mean, just historically, the interest rates on the refinance aren't even that high historically. So I mean, historically, they've been a lot higher. Like prior to 2008 and stuff, the interest rates were way up there, like north of 10%. So even now at a 5% interest rate, like there is still demand for the rate savings. But if we see the rate continue to drop, like there becomes this urgency, like lock in a lower rate while you still can, and that can be huge. So yeah, I mean we like when COVID hit and the interest rates dropped to like under 3%, we were doing like 70 grand a day on mortgage refinance. We did, we did at least like $3 to $5 million just on a mortgage refi offer alone that year. So, yep, that's something to pay attention to. Okay, so somebody asked, what software do you use for quiz funnels? So we use Unbounce. Unbounce is it's a pretty simple page builder tool. It's like ClickFunnels if you ever use that, but I think Unbounce is maybe a little bit better for lead generation. So, yeah, I mean, Unbounce, it's pretty simple page builder. You could really use anything. So for more complex stuff, with Unbounce, you're making really simple pages. If we're doing something a little bit more complex, I would probably just get a developer to like help build something. So yeah, like if you're trying to build like an actual like ping tree type offer, like some insurance offer where you need to have like complex integrations and stuff, you would definitely need to bring in a web developer. Um, One thing that you could maybe do is just like make pages to model in Unbounce and then send those over to a web developer and have them like build out whatever custom integrations and stuff that you need. So somebody asked, do you use Facebook agency accounts or your own BS? So yeah, we do use agency accounts. So agency accounts, we only have been using agency accounts maybe in the past like um, 6 months or so. So, you don't need Facebook agency accounts to run Facebook ads. And, agency accounts, they still get banned like regular ad accounts. It's just a little bit easier to get more of them. So with Facebook agency, like if you can get Facebook agency accounts, like you can get them by becoming an agency with Facebook, or you could rent them from an agency account broker, which is more of like an under the table kind of thing. Um, a place to start if you don't have your own Facebook agency accounts is just to rent them from a broker. So you'd have to find somebody that does have agency accounts, and they're going to charge you a percentage of ad spend. So usually it's like 5% of the ad spend to use their accounts that they would share with you. We just got approved for our own agency accounts. So we've gone through brokers, but yeah, now we have our own ad accounts, agency accounts. But I mean, it's not totally necessary. Like you can, we only even really started using agency accounts in the past like handful of months. And the alternative, if you don't have agency accounts, is just to set up the network of user profiles. So even if you're using agency accounts, like you still need this network of user profiles anyway, because the accounts basically just get shared with your business manager, and you still have to use your own fan pages. So issues like having BM get restricted, or fan pages get restricted, or profile get restricted can, even if you have an agency account, like those are still issues that can come up. So you kind of need to have this network of user profiles anyway, even if you do run agency accounts. And like I said, agency accounts can still get banned, but it just makes it a little bit easier to get new accounts because they can just share like an unlimited amount of them with your BM. Um, so it's kind of difficult to get Facebook agency accounts. Like it's a process that we just finished going through, and we just got approved. But it was about like a 6-month process where we had to, um, we had to jump through a lot of hoops to do that. So, so somebody asked about the fan pages. You guys always make it on your profile, not in the business manager. So I don't. It doesn't really matter per se whether you make it on the profile or the business manager. I think that the issue with the restrictions are going to happen kind of regardless. So there, just to add on that a little bit more, like um, before you use a fan page, you should try to warm it up for about a week with just like fan page posts. So don't make a fan page and then try to run ads on it like the same day that you make it. Try to do like one fan page post a day for about a week, and then use it in the actual ads, and that might help you keep them alive longer. But these restrictions and stuff are just going to happen, so it's something that you need to plan for and deal with. And ultimately, like to really crush it, you need to like have a strategy of just how you can get more user profiles. And we rent them from people, and we pay people $100 a month. And when you get somebody to agree to it, like you should be asking them for referrals. Like if you get somebody to agree to use your profile, you should ask them for, if their brother, sister, husband, wife, cousin, if they're interested. And um, you should really try to leverage referrals as far as getting more of these. So to really have like a robust setup, I mean, like, we've had to have like 10, 20 of these different setups. And, I know people that even run ads for this stuff, like, run ads to get people to agree to let them rent your profile. But we've done more of like a referral strategy where once we get somebody, we'll ask them to refer other people. And yeah, so let me get back to my notes here. So, yeah, so where I see some opportunities, so ACA health insurance is a good one right now. There's a lot of budget for that. I'll put a link in the description below to apply for our affiliate network. So if you want to work with us in any of these verticals, you can apply to become our affiliate, and you can also reach out to me on Skype directly at tdayskype123. Other than that, we're seeing some good results in the car loan vertical, especially in Canada. So Canadian car loan buyers tend to pay a little bit more than US. So um, we're seeing some good results there as well. So if you're interested in working with us, we're definitely open to it. So with our affiliate network, we have the best buyers, like in the insurance and finance verticals. Um, we can give you insight into areas where we see potential. You get access to me and Peter in a Skype chat where you can ask questions. We pay on a weekly basis. And for really high volume affiliates, if you do like over 10 grand a day, we'll even pay you 2 times a week. So visit that link in the description below. Contact me on Skype at tdayskype123. Okay. So I have some just general tips here for affiliates. So when it comes to being an affiliate, I think most affiliates tend to just kind of like hide in the shadows. Like maybe they have an ad campaign that's working for them, and they just sort of like, hide in the shadows, and we you know we get it. People don't want to put themselves out there, but I think there is a lot of value to sort of building an online presence as an affiliate. So like we do this channel, we try to provide a lot of value, and over the years we've built like a small following. I mean, nothing too crazy, but about 1,000 or so people that really like follow our content. And I think that there's even though our following is small, like just putting ourselves out there and providing value to people has opened up a lot of doors for us. So like we've been able to grow a better business by like attracting media buyers, by growing an affiliate network business, by attracting more clients, the people that buy leads, that watch these videos, that want to work with us. So I think if you're an affiliate and you have some knowledge or value to share, you should definitely be building an online presence and providing some value. And I think that that'll help you grow in all areas of your business. So it's really difficult to become massively successful if nobody knows who you are. But you also don't need like 250,000 followers either. I mean, really, just having like 1,000 true fans is enough to really take your business to the next level. So, um, yeah, I mean, that's a big reason why we put out a lot of these videos on YouTube. I mean, we provide a lot of value and don't really expect that much in return, but it always comes back to us. And every time that I put out a video and help people, like it comes back to us in some way, whether it be, attracting talent to our customer, or, a client reaches out to us out of the blue that, wants us to drive traffic to their offer. And, it's a big part of our success has all come from helping people. And a lot of it all stemmed from just the original course that we released back in like 2018 that was really valuable for people. That at this point now is a little bit outdated, but that really, if I were to go back and pinpoint like one catalyst that really like drove a lot of the success of our business in the past 5 years, it was just that value that we provided to people. And now we're out just like providing value for free, because it always comes back to us. We never really expect anything in return, but every time that we put ourselves out there and help people, it always helps us indirectly grow a better business. So that's a big tip. So I would encourage you guys to start your own YouTube channels, start your own communities, and try to help other people out along the way that are following the same footsteps that you did. And also, you want to work with good people. So whenever you're in business, like you want to be working with really like high integrity people. So that kind of carries over to all areas of business, like media buyers, employees, team members, co-founders, even clients that you work with, like networks or different buyers, direct buyers, whoever. So yeah, that's just some general tips there, and put some, if you have any questions in the chat, go ahead and put them in the chat now. So somebody asked, how's solar performing lately? So we haven't been running that much solar this month. So we ran a lot of solar traffic back in like April, May. We were running it a lot on TikTok, and I think I'm actually going to do a tutorial video where I talk about the solar vertical. So we found good results with solar on TikTok. I think as far as like the industry, the solar industry in general, it's fine. I mean, it's a good vertical. We had a pretty big campaign that we ran in May. It wasn't anything too crazy. I think we might have done like 300,000 in revenue in May on solar, and that was mostly on TikTok. So yeah, I think I'm gonna actually do more of like an expanded tutorial on that vertical. just to show you guys like kind of how we were doing that on TikTok. So to give you a little bit of a hint, so we were basically direct linking to an affiliate link of a solar buyer, and we weren't using a landing page. So we had a developer of ours actually build this this tool where we could fire a pixel to our O2C network has offers tracking through a postback URL. And firing a pixel on a direct link with TikTok is not always easy to do. So we have a custom tool that a developer made that sort of is like custom to our affiliate network tracking platform, where you can just put in your affiliate link and a couple other fields like related to your TikTok account, and it'll spit you back a link, and then all the conversions that you make, like the actual offer conversions, will post back to your TikTok account. I'm actually not like fully sure how it works from a technical standpoint, but it's pretty cool. But with that tool, we were able to really crush it on solar on TikTok. So yeah, that was just with regular like website conversion lead ads. So yeah, if you're interested in using that tool, like for any of your TikTok campaigns, we'll let you use that tool if you're going to run with our network. So yeah, if you want to do any like direct linking on TikTok, let us know like what offer, what vertical you're running, and we can set you up with our like custom developed TikTok tool where you can direct link on TikTok and have your offer conversions fire, and just run direct link campaigns. So I'm going to expand on this more. I think I'm going to try to get another tutorial out in the next week. It does take some time to prepare those. I do put a lot of work into those, so it's going to maybe take me another week to get that going. But I'll give you guys some more insight as far as the solar vertical. There's definitely more opportunity when it comes to solar to run it on TikTok versus Facebook. So on Facebook, like all the mom and pop solar companies, like all rely on Facebook for their advertising. So the solar space on Facebook is like really competitive and crowded, but a lot of these like solar companies just aren't on TikTok yet. And the reason why is because on TikTok, like a lot of the solar campaigns are zip code specific, where you run solar to these different zip codes. Solar, basically, like the way that solar works is that these solar offers have networks of buyers like across the country, and in different zip codes there's going to be different buyers that pay various amounts. So solar is usually like a revenue share thing where you're going to get paid different amounts depending on what zip codes the leads are coming from. And oftentimes in solar, like buyers will tell you to like run this zip code list, but in TikTok it's really weird, but in TikTok they don't support zip code targeting, which is kind of hard. Like they only have DMA targeting, and DMAs are different than zip codes. So it's not that easy to just like take a zip code list. Like if a buyer gives you a zip code list of like 10,000 different zip codes to target or something like that, like it's really difficult to just like upload a list of zip codes and run that. So as a result, like less people just use TikTok for running solar. But one of our solar buyers is so robust that we're able to just run it nationwide. So the way that we were able to make it work on TikTok is just by like not doing any zip code targeting, where other people are only trying to run in these specific zip codes, like in high paying states like California, or just whatever, targeted zip codes their buyer gave them. But what we did is we took a different approach, and we have a buyer who has such like a wide network of zip codes. Like it's something like north of like 20,000 zip codes, where we, instead of doing the zip code targeting, like we just run it nationwide. So with how cheap the costs are and like how less competitive the solar is on TikTok, we were able to make it work, and we had some pretty big months, like in April, May. So yeah, if you're interested in working with us, we can set you up with that too on our network, and we can set you up with the custom TikTok tool to direct link and track back your conversions to TikTok. Cool. So somebody asked, which verticals can you start with a lower budget? So let's see. So if you have a lower budget, then you should be focused on verticals that have like lower payouts. So if a vertical has a high payout, like in lead generation, a high payout is maybe anything north of like 40 or $50. But um, what I would do if you have a lower budget is focus on verticals that have um, lower payouts. So like auto insurance, for example, like the payouts are usually around like $10. So if you're trying to get conversion data as far as like what ads are going to create an offer conversion, it's easier to do that on a low budget if the payout is smaller versus having to wait and spend a lot more to get like a higher commission amount for your ads. So um, if it's really difficult to do paid traffic on a low budget, um, but I think you know if you're on a low budget, then you might have to rely more on like preliminary indicators like cost per click or the CTR percent of the click through rate percent of your ad versus things like actual offer conversions, because you're going to need to spend a lot more money to actually bring in enough offer conversions to have like statistically significant enough data to tell if something's going to work. And obviously, that's the ideal way to do it, because at the end of the day, offer conversions are what matters. But if you're on a really low budget, you might have to pay more attention to like the cost per click or the click through rate on the ad. Like if you spend $20 on an ad that gets like a $1 cost per click, and then you spend $20 on an ad that gets a $5 cost per click, even if you don't have any offer conversion data, you can still see like preliminary metrics to see like, okay, maybe this ad is better than that ad based on these sort of preliminary metrics like the cost per click or the click through rate of the ad. But at the end of the day, like you do need to spend money to test ads with paid traffic. There's really no way around it. So yeah, I mean, it can be really challenging if you're just getting started to build up that bankroll. I mean, I think that was probably the biggest challenge for me when I was first getting started. Around when I was 18 years old. So like about 10 years ago when I was first getting started out, like we only really had like $200 or $300 a month coming in from just various side jobs to use to test ad campaigns. And there was like a 3-year period of time where I was just making money from whatever job, like filling water glasses or bussing tables, and using the extra like $200 or $300 a month to try to test an ad campaign, and kind of like failing at that for a full 2 or 3 years, and then you know when we finally did get a breakthrough, like when we finally did get a campaign profitable after I think it was about like 3 full years of failure and whatnot, then things can kind of snowball quickly. Like you can really like run it up pretty hot in affiliate marketing once you get something profitable. But just getting that initial traction and getting that initial budget is definitely the biggest challenge for any affiliates. So somebody asks, are we still attending conferences? So yeah, we always have representation at the conferences. I mean, I personally don't go to many conferences. I've maybe been to one in the past year that was more like local here in San Diego, but we always have people from our team go to conferences. Marina, who's on the biz dev client side of our business, she's always at every single conference. Like we don't necessarily like buy booths at every conference and spend tens of thousands of dollars to like sponsor things, but we always have some representation at conferences. And someone from our someone from our company will always be at the conference. But yeah, I mean, if you're just getting started, I would recommend going to all the conferences yourself. I mean, for 5 something years, I would be traveling like every month, every other month, going to different conferences with Peter. And, that was a really big part of our business before, our company was big enough to have like other people go there and represent on behalf of our company. So anyways, yeah, I think that's it for today. So great questions today. Let me know if you want me to expand on anything else before we wrap up here. Again, I'll put a link in the description below if you want to work with our network. Just an idea of some of the verticals that we're running on the network. Let me go ahead and rattle some off here just so that you can get a good understanding. Just give me 1 second to get this pulled up. So as far as verticals, we run a lot in like insurance and finance verticals. So car insurance, health insurance, whether that be ACA health insurance, normal U65 health insurance, Medicare. We run funeral insurance. Under the finance verticals, car loans, so US car loan, Canada car loan, mortgage refinance, debt relief, personal loan. We have some mass tort verticals, so legal offers, both for leads and calls, and solar, education. So those are all different verticals. So yeah, go ahead and reach out and let's see how we can work together. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I'll be working on another tutorial video for you guys where I'm going to go into more detail about that TikTok solar campaign. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.